As we reach the end of the series, we are now looking at WWE 2K24. Of course, the whole game engine was rebuilt in 2K22, and 2K23 admittedly had very little upgrades. Does 2K24 continue that trend of just being the same game repackaged and sold for full price? Or is there more that meets the eye? Let's have a look back at WWE 2K24 and see what additions that game had. Welcome, our first time seeing CM Punk and Roman Reigns in this series. In fact, Roman's probably appeared in this series so far. This is going to be a casket match to the highest painful degree. Of course, Roman already using the casket to his advantage. This is one of the new match types added in 2K24. There are quite a few. What is the AI doing? So, of course, 2K24 may look like 2K23 on the surface, but there's definitely a lot going on here that is new. So first off, gameplay is actually sped up a little bit, I think. I don't know for sure, but it just feels a little bit faster than 2K22 and 3. You still have the same control system that you had from the previous game, so you still have access to the X button to do your light strikes, the A button to do your heavy strikes, and it is B for grapples and Y for reversals. These are Xbox controls, so it may be different if you're playing it on PC or PlayStation. So where 2K23 had, oh my god, wait, hold on, we have Roman Reigns slamming Punk down on the casket and kicking him off with with disregard. That is insane. I love it. Do more, please. So where 2K23 had the War Games edition, 2K24 does actually up the ante. We have access now to not only the casket match, which you're watching now, we also have access to a ambulance match, which is of course returning, which is not something they actually do very often, but I guess they kind of have done one recently with like Halloween Havoc, NXT, they do like hearse matches, so that's probably one of them as well. But yeah, ambulance match makes its return here. We have a casket match. We have the return of different gauntlet matches as well. There is gauntlet eliminators. There are gauntlet matches. There's even for the custom match rules, you can set up a custom Royal Rumble. So you can actually do a Royal Rumble with like 8 people in the ring any given time and 30 total entrants, where you can actually leave the ring and grab weapons, and you make it so the elimination is over the top rope, and legitimately you can have a Royal Rumble where you can leave the ring, and that is a way of doing that, which is very, very cool. You now have access to, well actually I didn't mention this in the previous videos, but I want to kind of emphasize as well, as part of the reversal system, you can now do combo breakers as well. So this was in 2K22, I just forgot to mention it, that if somebody is doing a combo to you, you can actually break their combo by pressing the button that they are about to press. So for example, if somebody was about to hit you with like square, 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 the basic combo, you can actually press square at any point during that combo and you will be able to reverse their attack. Likewise, you know, if they're doing like XXA, if you were to press the A button when they are about to press the A button, you will be able to break their combo and you'll reverse their attack, and it'll open them up for more attacks, which is a very, really cool thing. And it's very fighter gamey. It's a very kind of Mortal Kombat Street Fighter thing, but it's, considering the combat system that we currently have in these 2K games, I don't think it's a bad addition. Also, I love Roman opened the lid, which was super cool, and then he threw Punk into the casket, which then slammed the door shut, which is very cool. I should say as well that Punk is a late addition to this game. I believe he's DLC in this game. I could be, in fact, no, I'm not wrong. He is DLC for this game. 2K25 was the first game he's been back in the series, but 2K24 he was in DLC, and he was a late addition to the DLC. One major gameplay addition to this game as well, I don't know if we're necessarily going to see it here, we might do, you can actually throw weapons this game as well, so there's a lot of weapon additions. I'm going to put this down to Brian Williamson, I can't even say his name, I'm sorry, but he's one of the lead combat designers, and I'm pretty sure he's the one championing these weapons additions, because he worked on AEW Fight Forever, and there's a lot of cool weapon shit you can do in AEW Fight Forever, like throwing weapons and thumbtacks and all these really cool like interactions with the weapons and stuff. And I'm pretty sure that now that he's back in 2K, he's probably championing some of those weapons changes. So hopefully we can, if Brian has, you know, anything to say about it, we will probably get more cool weapons and more cool additions as the years go on. But for now, I'll happily take the fact that we can throw weapons in this game, which is a very cool addition. But it adds a lot of really cool functionality between like how you interact with like the ring between the ropes and stuff. There's a lot of like strategic options when you are throwing weapons, and I know that sounds really silly because you're just throwing weapons, right? You're just fucking lobbing it at the next guy, which is totally fine. Oh my god, Roman has been thrown into the casket here, Punk attempting to close the lid, but Roman says, nah, not today. But as I was saying, if somebody was in the ring and you have a weapon, you can throw it out of the ring and you can kind of attack them that way. Or maybe they're coming back into the ring and you can kind of get them as they stand up or something. If you're in a War Games match, as you saw in the 2K23 video, if you are between rings, you can throw weapons at people between the two rings, or it can be a fast way of moving like weapons from ring 1 to ring 2. Also, Roman he went for the Superman punch while I was talking there, and he just landed a successful spear finisher on Punk as well. That's going to be a lot of damage on Punk, which means that this casket match could be coming to a close. You see what I did there? This is definitely where I get into like nitpick territory here, because the commentary for this game is very outdated. I've accidentally left it on, I don't know why, but we still have Byron Saxton, Michael Cole and Corey Graves. They're even still in the game now, and I just cannot stand that commentary team because it's not accurate. It was accurate at one point and it ain't accurate anymore. Roman attempting to close the lid on Punk and Punk saying not today, so that is not happening just yet. But that spear and that Superman punch probably did a lot of damage on Punk already. As I was saying though, I really dislike the commentary system. And that's not to say there isn't, like, there are so many lines of dialogue. There's so many unique lines of dialogue as well that you can only trigger under certain circumstances, like certain people facing each other or certain people in certain arenas, or like certain scenarios that are really like specific. Like if the Sandman's holding a candlestick, I bet there's probably unique dialogue for that. Like there is a lot of really cool dialogue sequences in the commentary system, and it's really cool that it's so deep, and there's always like you do hear repeated lines, but it's definitely more realistic than it has been. But it's just the kind of inauthenticity that really bugs me, and it's probably really silly and probably is nitpicking, but like as much as I like Byron, I just don't see the point in having him in commentary anymore, because like he just isn't on commentary anymore. He's a backstage announcer. So when you've got people like Pat McAfee, Joe Tessitore, Wade Barrett killing it every single week, I don't understand why we can't have a commentary system that includes them in some way, especially with like the brand split being a thing now as well, with Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore being on SmackDown. Why can't we have a separation in commentary? I mean, the answer is obviously dev work. I totally understand. There's a lot of work involved with this. You can't just add a commentary team for a separate brand and then just expect it to work. It doesn't work like that. You're talking about changing the commentary team to have 2 people instead of 3, and then you're talking about re-recording a whole bunch of lines. You're doubling your amount of work. So every single commentary line that Michael Cole and Corey and Byron have in this game, you essentially have to readapt them for the other 2 members. Now, to be fair though, to Ukes, this is something that Ukes did originally. Ukes actually did have different they had the same commentary lines but spoken by different people. So JR and Mega Cole had the same commentary lines before. King and Taz had very similar commentary lines, if not the same commentary lines, back in the early SmackDown vs. Raw games. Like, oh, of course, I forgot about this. 2K24 is the first game to have the Trading Blows minigame. So what there is, you can't see it because I'm not playing it, but there's a little circle, and it moves into the sweet spot, and if you hit the thing in the sweet spot, then you'll get a successful Trading Blow. If you don't get it though, you will miss, and your opponent will get an attack on you. You can see here Punk has been able to get blood all over Roman's dome here. Roman is bleeding like crazy, and I think he's just won that Trading Blows minigame. So now I think Punk is stunned, which means that Punk can't reverse for a set amount of time. Saying that though, Roman's now just going to dump Punk over the top rope, ceremoniously kicking him into the casket there, and probably chances are Roman and Punk probably have finishers now as well, because that Trading Blows minigame can really boost your momentum meter The AI is a little silly in these matches. It does try to go for the casket and the ambulance a little too often. I guess I'm all over the place. I should probably be a bit more structured, but one thing to mention as well is although they did add, a Superman punch to Punk's face, they did add that. That just happened. But yeah, even though they added the casket match and the ambulance match, the mechanics are so similar. They're basically the same as Roman hits a successful second spear. And at this point, if I was Punk, I'd be worried about losing this match. Yeah, the mechanics between the casket and the ambulance match are basically the same. They play almost identically. It's just kind of, I'm not criticizing them. Don't remove them, don't change them. If you're going to change them, make them easier, because the button mashing minigame fucking sucks. I'm amazed that Punk kicked out of that, kicked out of the coffin there. I think he actually used his finisher. He may have used a resiliency to actually break out of the casket there, because I cannot imagine a world where someone like Punk, that has now taken 3 spears, is able to kick out of the coffin, the casket. This third attempt is probably going to be the one. I think Roman probably has this in the bag. Yeah, he's got that casket lowered down, and Roman gets the win in the casket match, proving that he's the greatest of all time, the best in the world. He's the GOAT. And he's the one. Acknowledge your tribal chief. All right, let's have a quick look at the menus here, because obviously people want to see the game, right? So we're talking about My Faction, we're talking about Play, we're talking about Universe Mode, we're talking about My GM. Yeah, this is all the same shit from the previous games, but at the very least it is in a different order. I was complaining in 2K23 about the order of this list being the same, but they have at least swapped it around. And I think this is actually a better order, to be honest. So in play mode, you can see that I like this menu where you can kind of choose the different arenas. I have a lot of them locked because they're locked behind showcase mode and My Rise. I think this is a My Rise arena. Yeah, so I haven't done My Rise and I haven't done showcase on this game save. So a lot of this, actually maybe I have done showcase. Oh no, I haven't done showcase yet. So yeah, showcase, a lot of the arenas are hidden because they're locked to showcase, and other arenas are locked to My Rise. You have to do certain things in My Rise. Very annoying because I do have the supercharger or the unlocker or whatever they call it nowadays that basically gets you all the game unlocked from the get-go, but you can't actually use it for things like My Rise and showcase. It unlocked everything but. It's stupid. It's so pointless. Anyway, you have options as well, lots of match options. This is going to look very similar to 2K25 because obviously it's the one before. So yeah, you have all your match options here. We've now progressed onto 8 superstar matches as well. Can we do an 8 superstar Hell in a Cell? Not yet. I feel like you can do that in... Maybe you can't do that. I'm pretty sure you can do that in 2K25. I'm not really sure, but there's an 8 superstar. Oh, of course, how could I forget? You also have access to special guest referee, right? Yeah, this game includes special guest referee. So yeah, this game, not bad. Like 3 match types plus, in fact, even more if you include the gauntlet matches. There's probably like 5 new match types. So you've got normal, special guest referee, casket, ambulance. And then on top of that, you also have access to 3 different types of gauntlets. That's pretty good. And you have war games now as well, which was added the previous year. That's pretty good. I'm just going to do it from here because it's a little bit easier, but this stupid unlockables My Faction bullshit that now that the servers are offline, you can't actually get them. So you must get this card in My Faction. I can't. So thanks, game. 2K, if you're somehow watching this video, you need to stop this shit. I hate it with a passion. I hate that the My Faction characters are here and you have no method of unlocking them. So that pushes you towards doing nefarious means to unlock them. And I'm just saying that if the servers are going to be shut offline, you can sell me a DLC pack that unlocks them all at one go. I'll happily spend, I don't know, like 5 or 10 pounds or however much it needs to be to unlock all of these, because I bought the game, I bought the season pass. I think even for the 2K24 I actually bought some other edition as well, and I still have these characters that are locked. I'm sorry, that's my soapbox rant. I needed to get it off my chest. I'm very sorry. There's a whole bunch of people here. There's Bronson Reed 24 and Bronson Reed. I'm assuming that one of them is probably a thingy character, right? Community creations for Brock Lesnar. I don't know, is Brock in this game? A whole bunch of Bray Wyatts that are locked behind Showcase. I'm guessing that Brock is not actually in this game. I think he is in the Showcase mode, but he doesn't appear in the base game. So I have this character version of him from 2014. I think I got from the community creations, but if you can't get the modern one because he was removed from the game due to the allegations at the time. So yeah, if we look through the roster here, there's a whole bunch of people. There's too many to call out. I don't know any particular people that were added in this year, but I don't want to waste your time by going through every single person that was being added, because these rosters just grow exponentially huge, and there's now hundreds of characters per roster, or per game I should say. And yeah, it is just insane how many characters they're able to add. But I will at least showcase the fact that there are so many good and bad DLCs for this game as well. So there is the Pat McAfee pack, which includes Pat, which I'm more than happy to have Pat McAfee in the game. But my god, that we have to have all of his friends. So like AJ Hawk and Boston Connor. I don't even know who these people are. So yeah, whatever. Weird choice. There's also a Bianca Belair, the deluxe edition. I guess I didn't. I thought I did buy that. I guess I didn't buy that. There is was there an Attitude Era pack? There's like Bubba Ray Dudley. There is Devon Dudley. There's DDP, Dragon Lee, CM Punk, Carlito. There are a whole bunch of action figures. Of course, there is the Fiend pack as well that was added into the game pretty late as well. Kind of like the Cena Farewell Tour edition. There's a Legends pack that comes with a Great Muta, Honky Tonk Man, Iron Sheik, Jade Cargill getting added to the game pretty late on as DLC, Kairi Sane as well. How have I not done? You can only get Match Man for the 40 years of WrestleMania. But I haven't even talked about Showcase mode yet, actually. Post Malone is a celebrity. Of course, his overall 69. Nice. But yeah, it's Attitude Era mode. Attitude Era pack, sorry. It must have included Mosh and Thrasher as well. Sandman, he's a pretty popular addition to the game. I think he last appeared in, 2008, I think? There's also a Rhodes family pack, right? The Nightmare family pack that gets you access to Cody Rhodes and potentially a Dusty Rhodes. Yeah, Dusty Rhodes there as well. So yeah, whatever. Some good DLC. Let's quickly talk about Showcase mode, shall we? So 2K24 is 10 years after 2K14. And 2K14 Showcase mode highlights the 30 years of WrestleMania. So 2K24, you would expect, highlights the 40 years of WrestleMania. Guess what, Bucko? It does. Congratulations, you were right. So there are 40 years of WrestleMania in the 2K Showcase, and it is a kind of narrative style showcase with interludes with Corey Graves, and he's explaining what's going on at this WrestleMania and the matches, and it's all very cool. However, there are not 40 matches. In fact, the first match that you play is WrestleMania 3, and you have these like sporadic weird matches from each decade, and it ultimately comes down to like 20 matches, I think, overall. And then at the end of it, there's like a Royal Rumble or something. Is there a Royal Rumble? I can't remember. There's something at the end, a Battle Royal or something. It's not good. It's not good. The showcase mode overall is fine, and I appreciate what they were going for in terms of the aesthetics with the documentaries, but I don't like not having every WrestleMania involved. 2K14 was able to do it, and that was 30. And I realize how hard it is to make games. I'm very much an apologist. I understand developers having a hard time. I understand how hard it can be to create a video game and work in that kind of environment. But if you're gonna give me a mode that highlights the 40 years of WrestleMania, then I gotta experience 40 years of WrestleMania. And I didn't feel like I did. But hey, we're gonna go through it again one day on Season Mode Sundays, and I can't wait to play it again. But first, I want to go through the 30 years of WrestleMania first to see how 2K14 handled that. I have decided to go for a gauntlet eliminator match here. So essentially we are starting with 2 people, and on regular intervals we will get new people into the match to a maximum of 8. This is a 10-person elimination match, and the only way to be eliminated is to take a finisher. So we're gonna see how this plays out. As you can tell, you can add in quite a lot of custom rules. So I tried to do the match that I had described earlier with like a 10-person gauntlet eliminator with over the top rope elimination, so you can kind of leave the ring but you can't go over the top ropes. But for some reason it wasn't letting me doing it, so that might be a thing that's only in 2K25. But hey, we can adjust that here. We can adjust on the fly, we can pivot as it were. So basically these guys are going to fight on an interval. We're going to get a new entrant, and as we continue, whoever hits a finisher will be eliminated. I just remembered as well, this game includes the ramp camera. This is the reintroduction to the old school camera system from the old SmackDown games. So you can actually point the camera at the stage, which is very cool, because although you don't get a good view of the LED barricade, you do get a good view of the stage. And obviously when you select, the whole point of having the Royal Rumble or whatever is to play in the Royal Rumble, right? You want to see the stage. While I'm ranting here, I completely no-sold it, I'm sorry, but Sandman went for his finisher on The Rock, and The Rock reversed it into a rock bottom, and that meant, oh my god, he's leaving the ring. I totally didn't even think about that part. But because The Rock hit that rock bottom, Sandman has been eliminated, which then forced the next entrant to come out. Rock wasting no fucking time whatsoever. The final boss ran up the ramp with a kendo stick and just destroyed Mr. Perfect on the rampway. I think by using that weapon as well, he's probably got a finisher, so he just needs to get Perfect into the ring. Apparently, I didn't even realize this, but I guess you don't even need to be like in the ring for this match to end, right? So Perfect, if he gets in that ring, man, he's going to get rock bottomed, and it's going to be the end of Mr. Perfect, I'll tell you that. Oh man, saying that though, Mr. Perfect with the steel chair, evening the odds, as it were. It's a nice touch as well. You can actually see the Sandman walking up the ramp, so that like he's like leaving because he got eliminated. I think that's a really nice touch, although it is a really long ramp. So I know that The Rock has a finisher, and I don't know what happens if he does it outside the ring. We're maybe not going to find out here, because Rock has just been thrown back into the ring by Mr. Perfect. And we have our next entrant, who is Karrion Kross, or Killer Kross, entering the fray. Although he's entering the fray as the most electrifying move in sports entertainment is being undertaken. I don't think did Mr. Perfect ever actually experienced. Oh no, Mr. Perfect moved out of the way of the people's elbow. I would presume that means Mr. Perfect has a finisher. Probably does, actually. When you reverse a finisher, you gain like a massive amount of momentum. So by reversing that people's elbow, perfectly timed as well, right as The Rock was coming down, then Perfect probably has a perfect plex in the chamber ready to go whenever he wants. I really do like the variation in rules though, because it does mean that you can have these matches that are very, very different. So if this was a Royal Rumble, you know what to expect, but because we're talking about a finisher match here, we're talking about a 10-person finisher match. I think that ups the ante a little bit, right? You never really know what to expect. People can leave the ring. People can go grab weapons. As we saw, The Rock can even like attack people as they come down to the ring. Like, there's a lot of options here and a lot of different gameplay mechanics here. So even though we're essentially doing a different style Royal Rumble, it just completely changes the complexion of the match, and I really appreciate that. As the action continues here, we have another entrant coming out of the wings as the action spills outside the ring, no less. And it is none other than Mr. Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, making his way to the ring. Cross making him at the aisleway as well. Oh no, Mr. Perfect with the perfect plex, and that eliminates The Rock. You know what? Congratulations to The Rock. You did really, really well there. I genuinely thought Mr. Perfect was going to keep attacking The Rock there, but no. Perfect with the candlestick though, moving towards Johnny Gargano on the other side of the ring. Hey man, The Rock put up quite the fight. It was a great effort nonetheless, but the perfect plex is no shame. There is absolutely no shame to be eliminated by Mr. Perfect. I think we're seeing some different styles here as well, because Johnny Gargano, very much a high flyer, going against Karrion Kross, is a bit more of a technician. And we also have Mr. Perfect, who is evidently perfect at everything he does. But Perfect at this point, he can take his time, you know, he doesn't need to rush anything. He can just take his time outside the ring as Gargano and Cross end up having their little fight inside the ring. I should also say I did boost the finisher rate as well, so you will probably see fast finisher gains. So if Gargano doesn't already have a finisher, he's probably not far away from one. Oh, that Perfect just did a finisher. I don't even know what that move's called, but it was like a, what was it, like a Rings of Saturn or something? But that was a finisher, and saying that, we are going to see another Perfect Plex, and just like that, Mr. Perfect completely wipes the board. There are no more people for him to face, so he's going to wait for the next entrant, which is going to be Mike the Miz Mizanin. I said that before in the previous video for like no reason whatsoever. The Miz entering the ring now. Perfect, I presume, doesn't have any more finishers, but you never know. But hey, even with the increased finisher gain, you have to think as well that if you were to reverse a finisher, you basically get given a free finisher at that point. So the momentum can easily swing, and even if Perfect, oh my god, he does have another finisher, but as mentioned, Miz reverses that, and that momentum now just completely shifts. Even though Perfect has been just destroying this match, he's been eliminating people left and right, that don't mean shit. Miz can easily hit a skull-crushing finale at any point now and take Perfect out of this match. Oh, the Miz with a finale out of nowhere, a skull-crushing finale out of nowhere. I wasn't even paying full attention, it just happened. He just rolled him into the ring and hit that finisher. That was probably from earlier when he reversed that Perfect Plex. So he had that one just waiting in the stock, as it were. Saying that though, big Bronson Reed making his way down to the ring and being met with a steel chair to the face for his attempt. But yeah, as I said before, you know, Perfect was killing it. Mr. Perfect was like the guy to put money on, and then just like that, the momentum completely shifts. We're now talking about The Miz and Bronson Reed, and we are no longer talking about Mr. Perfect or The Rock. Who are they? Doesn't matter, because they're not here anymore. Big Bronson Reed bringing those steel steps into the ring and throwing them against The Miz, which is actually pretty insane when you think about it. The Miz, though, reversing Bronson. Who knows what's happening here? I can't see the finish. Well, you can see what I can see. We can't see the finishers. So who really knows what state anyone's in at any given point here? But we know that the fresh man here is going to be Carmelo Hayes. He's entering the ring. Melo don't miss. Ironically, in real life, we're seeing a storyline play out between The Miz and Carmelo Hayes here. And we're going to see that portrayed here in 2K24. You know, I really like Carmelo Hayes, but my god, those blue tights that he has in this game are just terrible. I cannot stand them. every chance I get to see these like blue, horrible blue tights, I just have to slack them off. It's like the first thing I did in the community creations, or not even community creations, just the first thing I did in like custom character was just turn them black. Because they're a good design, I just don't like the blue. Oh, I didn't even realize that the final four, figure four, help me, having a stroke. The figure four is the Miz's finisher, which I didn't even realize there. He just locked that onto Bronson Reed, and that immediately takes Bronson out of the game, which means it's now down to Miz and Melo. I have actually lost track of the entrance here, so I don't even know who is left. We had The Rock, we had Mr. Perfect, we had Gargano, we had Cross, we had Bronson Reed, Miz, Melo. I feel like there was another person. Who did Rock start with? I can't remember. Sandman. So I think we have two more entrants, I think. Unless I've forgotten someone. Though I think Melo actually has, I don't know what his finisher is necessarily, but he does have that jumping leg drop, which is probably, oh, never mind, that was his finisher. I was going to say a whole storyline there for Melo, but never mind. I was going to say he has that diving leg drop, so that actually makes it harder for him to set up his finisher. Oh, it's hard times, Barrett. It's hard times, Big Boss Man making his way down to the ring and being met with a steel chair. Just, yep, okay. Not my favorite Big Boss Man. I personally prefer the Attitude Era version of Big Boss Man. which I'm sure you can probably get on Community Creations, but they never add the song in, and I really wish they would add the song in. Saying that though, this could be a very quick elimination for Boss Man. I mean, that is insane. Thanks for coming, Boss Man. The original Shield member being eliminated like he ain't shit. Just beat up with a chair immediately. And I think this is the final entrance. Scott Hall entering the fray, barely even getting out the curtain there. Scott Hall is not a person who you're going to take lightly though. He has size, charisma, and just raw wrestling ability. And I mean, look at the size difference between Hall and Mello. It's actually kind of insane. So even though Mello may have the advantage here by, you know, maybe some stored extra momentum from being in the match already, Scott Hall can very easily turn the tide. And because he's the last entrant, he only has to eliminate one person. Mello at least had to fight a few now, right? So he's probably a little bit damaged. But what does Scott need to do? Scott literally needs to just build enough momentum for one finisher, hit it, and get the win. Or alternatively, he could actually reverse Mello's finisher, get his own finisher, and then just use that. So that it could be a very quick turnaround here, although he's saying that he has grabbed the steel steps, so who knows what he's up to here. Dude, oh my god, he's going to go for that fallaway slam on the steel steps. That was pretty hardcore. I was going to say if he went for the Razor's Edge on that steel steps, that would be one hell of a way to end this match. We are in the final stretches of this match. I think we are just one big move away from ending here. I mean, Mello and Hall probably very close to both having finishers, and honestly, like I said, one big move and it is donezo. And I think this might be it. I think Mello is actually going for the leg drop. He's hitting that top rope. The steel stairs are in the way though, you gotta watch out for that. He's calling Hall up and he's going for the leg drop and he nails it. What a way to finish this match with that diving leg drop. Congratulations to Carmelo Hayes. Mello don't miss, and he's won this insane finisher gauntlet match. And that's going to be us for today. I hope you enjoyed. Hi Tifa. As I was saying, that is going to be us for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy 2K24 as much as I do, please consider liking and subscribing the video, because it helps push the channel out and the video out to as many people as possible, and we can have as many people join the community so we can enjoy more wrestling games in the future. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week for 2K. Well, we're getting to the end of the series now, so I guess I'm going to have to cover 2K25. But I have already done a video review of that, so maybe I don't know. We'll be back next week for another video. I hope you have a great week. But with that being, well, in fact, even before next week, there are more videos coming out. I release videos on Tuesday, Friday, Sundays, so I don't know why I'm saying next week. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great week. Check my other videos out, blah, 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 blah. Bye for now.